The Kirk Cousins era begins in Minnesota. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Minnesota Vikings with a new man at the helm, looking to build on a terrific season from a year ago, as they'll face undefeated starter Jimmy Garoppolo and the resurgent San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back with a look around the early games at halftime. But now let's get up to Minneapolis. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. That's field. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They're brought out by their fifth-year QB out of Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
San Francisco gave New England a second-round pick to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo's services, and it might turn out to be the steal of 2017. How about this for immediate impact? Took a 1-10 franchise, and when they put him in the starting lineup, won 5 straight games. In fact, in San Francisco, in some quarters, they're calling him Jimmy GQ.
They go play action here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
And wide receiver Marquise Goodwin showed in 2017 he's more than just an Olympic long. Showed more facets to his game. Not just a long ball threat either. Could catch it underneath. Nearly 1,000 yards in receiving and had more catches last season than in his 4 years combined in Buffalo.
Now it's the Florida Atlantic alum. This is Alfred Morris. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Play action. Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're running a lot of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's a right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their big offseason signing from Michigan State in his 7th year. It's the veteran Kirk Cousins.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins and his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24, 23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced in the huddle before the first snap in Seattle against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throwing, Cousins over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin College, I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw is Cousins. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. This man's been a fan favorite in the Bay Area for a while. First with Stanford, now with San Fran.
The number 3 pick out of Stanford last season. His versatility is the key to his success. Whether he's playing defensive tackle, defensive end, line him up over the nose in passing situations, his quickness to get to the quarterback.
San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton of it, but at least some positive yardage. Here again is McKinnon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't first.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. They run it with McKinnon. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
A first update now from Cleveland, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. Tyrod Taylor, a first-quarter touchdown pass in that one. Heading out, we'll have to see what the Falcons do this year, but we do know that the Vikings will not be the first team to play the Super Bowl in their home stadium because they had that shot last year, Charles. Came up short in the NFC title game, but this is a club that has retooled to make another run.
Still built defense first in the image of their head coach, Mike Zimmer. And they have all-stars at every level. Start with Linval Joseph at defensive tackle. Move back to Anthony Barr at linebacker. Xavier Rhodes at cornerback. Harrison Smith at safety. They can do it all on defense. But the signing of Kirk Cousins on offense at quarterback signals that this is a Vikings team that wants to open things up a little bit, get a little bit more explosive, and not have to play quite as many grinded-out games as they did in 2017.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away for a gain.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he whips that one incomplete there. He's looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. Going deep for Diggs. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And a safety the last go-around. That's how we arrived at this 2-0 score. See if they can respond.
Such an oddity, isn't it?
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Cousins now on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Offensively, they like their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
Off comes to Cook. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. Of course, last year, you think about Dalvin Cook's injury in Week 4 with a torn ACL, just hoping that he can stay healthy in 2018.
And if so, we'll see plenty of runs that will be big time in 2018. Because in 2017, he took over the starting running back job as a rookie and was off to a terrific start. In fact, if you ask people in the Minnesota Vikings organization, they were giddy at the fact that they were able to get him outside of the first round and plug him into the lineup. They expect him to be big time in this season. And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. The Vikings are in the lead early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Here we go. Hey, 4 down.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On 2nd, and his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. Carlson able to put this one through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They run once more with McKinnon. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Garoppolo looks to throw, and he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. From left side, caught by Goodwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers would tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually, I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing is Cousins. And Cook has it left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the play. And that'll lead here to a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Listen to me.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up for a third down. He tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack, but see how they attack him here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Niners on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. In his own end zone, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Bradley Pena now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Let's take it in 40. Diggs with a good footwork. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Again, this is Cook. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Malcolm Smith there for the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action now. Cousins escapes the sack. Flush to his right. Had the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've... Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They're the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punch out their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule.
And for the 3rd time now, this is going to wind up a safety. Unbelievable. Well, it's rare to see one safety. It's even rare to see 3 safeties in a game, Charles.
Well, we'll be able to talk about this with our grandkids, great-grandkids, and anyone else that may come around the house when we get a little bit older on that rocking chair. We were there when we saw 3 safeties in one game.
Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's been pretty quiet here in the second quarter. They've got the lead. That's the good news. But you think they get him more involved going forward?
I think that they do, and that's what they always want to do because he's such a priority and he's such a big-time playmaker. But sometimes, deep way, and they've been able to find another way to get it done themselves.
Yeah, they absolutely have. They're winning, and look at the scoreboard right now. Coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
By Kendall Wright. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On third down, Cousins. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The 49ers heading out, and if you listen real closely, you can hear it. Right now that is around this 49er team. And look, they finished last year strong. Big reason why Jimmy Garoppolo. So a lot of hope coming into 2018.
And I think you nailed everything that you're really talking about with this team, starting with Jimmy Garoppolo. But I think underneath it, I go back to the start of last season. Brand new head coach in Kyle Shanahan, brand new general manager, and a brand new direction. And they stayed the course despite starting the season with a long losing streak. Many people wondered if they would win a game, but they didn't panic, didn't rush out and get a lot of veterans for short-term help. Just said, this is our team, this is our structure, let's go for it. And they kept doing that and finished the season with a 5-game winning streak led by, as you mentioned, Jimmy Garoppolo, and a lot of hope and optimism for the future.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards. Garoppolo to throw on second down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds in the half on is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out here on the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll begin with an AFC clash up in the Northeast. Baltimore playing host to Buffalo. And it's the lead in the second quarter. The Bills looking to get their season off on the right foot. They've got the lead on the road. From the former home of the Colts to their current home, we head west to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals looking for the win on the road in Week 1. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. The Jaguars looking to get off to a hot start, and a road win would help them do just that. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. His guys lead on the road in Minneapolis as we send you back up to U.S. Bank Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now, they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they've got a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for...
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Gold with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And now running right through it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball. It doesn't work running the ball. Something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. I think in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
This is taken at about the 14. And now out comes Minnesota. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possession. They might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Lets it fly for Thielen. That's caught inside the 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the now, Cousins. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time they surrendered, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle. It's tight end, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, any time, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. To throw is Beathard. To the right side, complete to Tate. Only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This will be fielded at the 17. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, You feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
You just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Second down, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
They go play action. Cousins out to his left. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Give him 3 on. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He'll find Thielen working the middle. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
They go with Murray again. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 5 line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Here's Cousins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Niners on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Back to throw Beathard. He's got the first down past the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now a play fake here on first down. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Guess do. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
All right, here we go.
Now McKinnon. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go now. 3.
Here's Beathard to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. Oh, what a good return there. 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run it again with Cook. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Cousins now from the 50. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Eric Armstead in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and a mile. Play fake. Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's caught inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that's streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Back to the ground, Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Sometime in this 4th quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Cook. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Situation when you're up in the 4th quarter, they're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Hey, here we go.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Open man is Treadwell, and he's got it for the Minnesota touchdown. Laquan Treadwell, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at no good. We're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Beathard, his throw incomplete. The veteran Terrence Newman on the coverage. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw is Beathard. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. Here's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Goodwin able to haul it in. And no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Every play is supposed to get a play, but on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Beathard. Got his target, Pierre Garçon. And he's going to get this down near the 29. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Here's Beathard to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there, a 22.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether their hands are cradling it, comes together with the leg.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown as a 49er. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I ain't taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the upman. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Morgan. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
3rd down to Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
I certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. It's in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. From the gun, here's Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up, and, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll throw here. Beathard over the middle. That's caught by Taylor. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. To throw is Beathard. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, shifty. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's offense making its way back out there. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A very solid gain of 27. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now on 1st down, he'll drop the throw. Under pressure now, and Beathard goes down to the turf. Everson Griffin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Garrett Selleck, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
Final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation.
Cook strip, the ball's out. And this is going to be 49er football.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
To review the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to act and start over.
That was second down 1 for Murray. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Minnesota, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for our entire crew, alongside
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.